Sijo Steve Mohammed being honored today in Glendale. UFC is back this week. We'll talk 308 and more with Coach Donovan Britt.
This person is giving me every indication that they're going to hit me. Do I need to wait for them to hit me first? And the answer is...
And, of course, knockout of the week.
We have breaking news.
This just in.
Sometimes when I do the news, I don't wear any pants.
Okay, all right, martial arts news. We are back, bringing you the latest and greatest in the martial arts world. What is good? Hope everyone's having a fantastic Saturday. Start to your weekend, starting it off right. Welcome to the show. I'm Sijo Steve, and if it's your first time tuning in, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your support. All right, we're going to get right to it. Quick news first and foremost, as I said in the lead, Sijo Steve Mohammed, though, being honored today at the Martial Arts History Museum in Glendale. That's 4 o'clock Pacific time, so if you are here in the Los Angeles area, it only pertains to you. It is major news, though, for you guys that are aware of the BKF, the Black Karate Federation. Sijo Steve Mohammed was one of its founders and still one of its most prominent instructors to this day. He's located out on the East Coast, and I don't know, so I'll preface it as saying if he's actually going to be there at the honor day, but they are giving him a special honor out at the museum. So here's all the information for you guys right now. Adults $20, kids $5. As I said, starts at 4 p.m. today. And there's the address below. I will also leave a link down below so you guys can check out more info at the Martial Arts History Museum. And I believe their Instagram is Martial Arts Museum on Instagram. You can get some more information there. I'll give people a refresher for those that don't know. I had Sijo Steve Mohammed on the channel years ago, and to this day, it's one of my viewed interviews, and I'm so proud of it.
Oh no, Bruce was my friend. Many people don't know him, but he and I trained together, and we spoke on his language for the science of fighting, and the little bit that I had, I spoke on the science that I had for fighting. And yes, we did move with each other. Bruce was extremely. It wasn't like he was really fast, but he had what you call uncanny timing, which made him appear to be very fast. And
so I had asked Sijo if he had ever actually fought Bruce Lee. I know they had a fight behind the scenes, and this is something that's just been confirmed by a lot of people. There's some people that were there, and that's after that fight. That's when Bruce Lee had labeled Sijo Steve Mohammed the fastest hands that he'd ever seen in the martial arts.
And defending himself. So we did. We fought. Not a lot, I can say, because I could only go to his home when he invited me, but enough to get a good understanding that he was a very good martial artist.
So, Sijo Steve Mohammed being honored today at the Martial Arts History Museum. More info and links down below. All right, so martial arts news, let's get right to it. UFC 308 happening in just a few. Next hour, as a matter of fact. It's 11 a.m. Pacific time. If you're out here, that's 2 p.m. Eastern. It's an early one because it's happening in Abu Dhabi, out in the Arab Emirates. You got a pretty incredible card this week, and the main event is a featherweight match. So Tuporia and Holloway, that's your big one. That's the one everyone's waiting for. Whitaker and Shemiev. Hamzat, the guy's got a fully loaded scalp this time. There's no shaved down head, and it looks like he's ready for business as usual. I saw the UFC pre-show this past week on ESPN, and always shows the behind the scenes of the fighters and their prep. He looks ready to go. Plus Ankalaev and Rakic, plus many more. You guys know the card is. But our main event is the featherweight match. Tuporia and Holloway. I know a lot of people looking forward to it. And so I figured why not bring someone who's no stranger to the fight world today to talk about UFC 308 and more. All right. Yeah, man. So martial arts news, got a special guest in the house today. And people that have watched the channel for a little bit are familiar right away, though. Coach Britt from the Las Vegas Combat Academy. Man, out in Vegas doing his thing. They're teaching kravmaga, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, all that good stuff. Coach,
man, I'm great to be back on the show.
Man, I'm so happy that you're here again, man. And I got to tell you, congratulations on all the achievements out there. Social media-wise, you're going crazy. I definitely follow you, man.
Thanks, man.
Really quickly, a video I saw that's just blowing up is your video on assault and battery. I was like, yo, this is dope because it's not even just about techniques that we all love and know and love, but it's just basic knowledge that I think a lot of people just aren't aware of.
That's assault. That's assault. The touching is the battery. Posturing myself like this to you, that's assault. Why? Because do I look like I'm going to do you harm? Do you believe that I have the physical ability to do so?
Yes.
Okay. So it would be normal for her to be afraid. Yes, she's been assaulted at this point. The battery is the physical touch. That's why there's two charges, assault and battery.
And you can tell by the comments, right? Like the comments, there's so many uninformed people, right? There's so many uninformed people in the comments saying, "Oh, that's wrong, that's wrong." And yes, each state is different, but the general guideline that I talked about on the right, assault being the threat of danger, and then the battery being the physical violence. That's a simplified version of the the definitions of each. But from a self-defense standpoint, that whole lesson plan was about, hey, when can I engage this person? Right, this person is angling towards me. This person is stalking me. This person is giving me every indication that they're going to hit me. Do I need to wait for them to hit me first? And the answer is no, absolutely not. In fact, if you can articulate that, hey, look, they're walking towards me, fist balled up, using language that is clearly, ends in violence and clearly indicates the possibility for violence. Looking at their body language, looking at their facial expressions, I have every reason to believe that this person was going to hit me, and my physical, person was in danger or imminent danger. At that point, someone saying like that's not assault, is intent, and then I need to feel like imminent danger is real. So someone calling me a name isn't necessarily the same thing as assault. You may not like it, but it's not the same thing. Calling me a name and threatening me while walking away, again, probably not assault because there's no imminent danger.
Right.
There's no apprehension in that regard. So what people need to understand is that, first of all, they're like, oh my God, society's gotten soft. It has never been okay to do that.
Yeah.
There's never been a point in society where it's been okay to do that on the books or off the books. You walk towards somebody, you're threatening them, you're posturing yourself like you're going to hit them. You can expect a violent response in most cases. So the fact that so many people are unaware of it leads you to believe, or leads me to believe, that's why people get into shit. They don't understand the legal parameters of it. I'm not telling you not to get into stuff. Do what you want to do. But from a self-defense standpoint, it's not going to happen. The second you start punching, you're going to get hit first. That's classic self-defense. So
absolutely. You feel like you're in danger, it's like that's the time to act. It's not when people necessarily put hands on you, because that might be too late. So yeah, I'm with you.
Well, it is too late. You're absolutely right. It is too late. And when people say, well, no, just let them hit you first, I'm like, okay, we're going to have a scuff and you're going to let me get the first shot? Oh, I like my chances. I love my chances. So it's, but where that comes from is like a very infantile elementary school sort of mindset that, oh, teacher, he hit me first. And what people don't understand is that in the eyes of the law, mutual combat is not the same thing as self-defense. In other words, if we're having a verbal F you and F you, and then the guy hits me, I can't be like, well, he hit me first and therefore it's self-defense. No, I was mutually cooperating with it. I could have left at any given time. I insulted him or assaulted him technically just as much as he did to me. So while he may have tried to batter me first, the reality of it is I'm mutually complicit in the argument or in the fight, in the altercation. And a lot of people don't understand that's the thing too. Now, there are certain states that has mutual combat laws where you can do that. Two people can get, Washington State is one. You can get into a fight with someone as long as you agree to the fight. But the moment one of them either indicates verbally or non-verbally that they don't want to fight anymore, you can't hit them anymore. But they can't go to jail for fighting in public. So it's weird. It's like here in Las Vegas. Yeah, that's in mutual combat states. There's mutual combat states. Just like being in Vegas, you can be drunk in public. You can't be disorderly.
Right. Okay.
So in some states, you can't even be intoxicated in public. But in Vegas, you can walk down the street drunk, but you can't be disorderly. The moment you start disrupting business or society, then you're disorderly, then they'll take you in. But you have to know what the laws are. And so the law that I read, that I quoted, was Nevada revised statute for assault. I also quoted the Supreme Court's legal definition of assault, which most jurisdictions accept that as the legal, description for assault, and they base their laws based on that. There are some nuances from state to state and province to province, but the general accepted definition is what I quoted on the video, and that video is over 7 or 8 million views now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Fast reaching towards 10 million now. Actually, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I had no idea when I made that video. That was not like my intent. In fact, on any of the videos that we've ever done, there's never been an intent to go viral with the millions of views. It just happens. Yeah, and so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
No, it's awesome, and at the same time, dropping knowledge, man. And you have a law enforcement background, so it's like when we talked before, it's you're coming from an educated point of view. So it's not like you're just spouting off stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one thing that they don't realize is when I was working in private security, and then also too when I served on the CERT board here in Las Vegas, and that was a board that we adjudicated officer-involved shootings and use of force. So we literally have subpoena powers. I've walked behind that yellow tape at 3:00 in the morning, listened to all the radio traffic, listened to the 911 calls, understand the background and the training of the officer, understand the scenario training they've been through, and then match the actual live event with the scenario, and then had to adjudicate those cases on use of force. So when I tell people about these things, I'm a self-defense instructor, but I'm also a use of force expert by anybody's legal definition. If someone said come to court and testify as an expert, my background alone would be enough to surpass or suffice anyone's query as to whether or not I know what I'm talking about. But that video isn't about me being right. I'm more amazed at how many people just don't have a clue. Think that it's okay to go about flexing at people and acting like you're going to hit them and not have any punishment. These are the same people who talk shit online and think that, okay, look, I tell people all the time, just keep that same energy. Keep the same energy, because when I see you, you're not going to be behind that keyboard anymore.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, these are the guys that start beefing and running the cops. This is the world that we live in now. So you got a lot of guys that are phony tough guys. They'll say stuff, oh, that shit won't work. That's why people are shooting. It's their cowardly way of saying, I'm not going to train, so therefore I'm just going to get a gun, and they're more dangerous to themselves and others with the gun than they are by training. I carry every single day, right? So I'm not anti-gun, but I think the average gun owner is probably a goofy. They're untrained. They go buy their gun and stick it in a drawer. They never use it again, or they watch television. They
think that's going to be the end all. Yeah, no, and it's not. All right, so let me switch gears, man, because so this weekend, big fights, UFC. I know you're a fan like me. Put the card up here really quickly because and not to go through all the fights, but the major one's a major featherweight fight. You got Holloway and Tuporia, and I'll say this even before we start talking. I mean, I love 307, and I think I look forward a little bit more to that Pereira-Roundtree fight. But there's something to be said for these two guys that are about to get in the ring. So you got any preliminary thoughts before I show a little video?
Max Holloway's the best boxer in MMA. And when I watch a guy rise like this and go through, his fight career and see the setbacks and there's something about this kid that he was born to fight. He's found his calling. And when you're walking in your purpose, they all work hard. They all work extremely hard. But when you walk in your purpose, the light leads you to a path of victory more times than not. I think Holloway is just a part. He's got the light. You start to understand what kind of good human being he is. But I'll be honest with you, most of the guys that I know, and I know lots of MMA fighters and coaches, most of them are really, really good people. Dewey Cooper is a dear friend of mine, a brother of mine.
Right.
He was just here. He came by yesterday.
Oh, nice.
And I talked to him right after Francis won. I called him and we were talking about the game plan and talking about what happened there. And you just start to see guys like that Max Holloway's cut from the same kind of cloth. Like he gets in the gym, he grinds, he gets it done. So my prediction is Max Holloway, and I think it's by knockout.
I think you're probably right. I'm gonna show here a little bit of video here. It's mainly just to show some highlights of Holloway, but man, like you're saying, I think he's got some
come forward and put on a show. If he sits back and doesn't perform well, then it kind of impacts his brand, if you will. But coming forward at Max has proven to be fatal in some cases for a lot of fighters. You don't want to walk in that straight line, but that's what Tuporia does, though. He comes forward and he bangs and he's in there for exchanges, and you watch him fight. He's totally game, and I totally believe that that bodes well for Max. Because he's so willing to hang out in the pocket and change levels and get off on guys. But this is not going to be a cakewalk either way. But I still think Max gets him because Tuporia's punches are pretty loopy sometimes, and Max goes that 1-2 down the middle and can control range. If Max is going to control range, it's going to be very, very difficult. And I don't see Tuporia doing much with Max on the ground, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think I'm going to give that more to Holloway with the ground game, because you're right. It's a head-on thing for Tuporia. He just likes to charge in, basically like that bull, just straight on, and take it to the head. But you're right. I think the patience level that Holloway will have to get in the pocket. Yeah, no, it's a great point. So I'm gonna move on. I'm looking forward to this. Fights are early because they're they're overseas in this one. So I think the fights start at 11 o'clock our time, but I'm all in. I'm ready to rock. But talking about in the future, a couple weeks from now, I just wanted your opinion on Tyson and Jake Paul, because honestly, this is a fight I'm looking forward to. I think Tyson's a little underestimated. I think, listen, all respect to Jake Paul, but I think this one's going to be a banger. I just wanted to get your feet on this.
Jake Paul is not a bad boxer. He's just not a good boxer, right? So the thing is, he's neither bad nor good. So he's just kind of there. Mike is in his 50s. Mike's not what he used to be, but he's still better than most people, most human beings would be. Like the last guy you want to run up on in the street is Mike Tyson. Right? Dude, because Mike's going to behave like a fighter. Now, what we don't know is all the other bullshit that comes along with these fights. Where the internet has sort of crossed over into mainstream sports, is that now you've got guys, because Jake Paul is kind of just a regular dude who's trying to taught himself how to box, and by all accounts, he's going about it the right way as far as putting in the work and doing those things. I get that part, but there's a lot of showmanship in this fight that I don't like. And quite frankly, if he fought someone his own age who was even an AMI boxer, that AMI boxer will wear his ass out. So he's going after guys, washed up MMA guys or older boxers, to try and prove that he can fight so he can sell a lot of fights online. It's great. Right. But what's amazing, though, is to me, if he gets serious about becoming a legitimate promoter, because of his methodology, his business methodology, he could actually rewrite the way that boxing is done, in a sense of how fighters are compensated and or not, and fights that are made and or not, because of all the internet popularity. And there's a younger audience on the internet side that's watching these sort of events, these sort of celebrity bouts or what have you, right? Who are interested in the fight, but not for the science of fighting, but for the personalities involved in the fight. And that does change the ticket. That does change the gate. And I do think that it potentially does change the way the fight is officiated and therefore judged. So is Mike going to come in here and really try to hurt Jake Paul? It's Mike. So Mike, I lean toward the Jets. I'm not sure he can turn it off, but
I don't either. I think it's going to get with Mike when he sees red, bro.
And then, but that's why we love Mike. That's why we love him. Yeah. I love Mike. I'm a huge fan of Mike Tyson. I'm a huge fan of him. I love him to death. But not only in the ring, but this guy has turned his personal tragedies into one of the best comeback stories ever. And he's so honest about the shit that he went through. It's hard not to root for the guy.
That's a great point.
Because what I'm rooting for is Mike's happiness. And that Mike finally, when he can totally walk away from boxing and be content that he gave us so much that we don't need to see him in the ring anymore.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. If I were, allowed that opportunity to talk to Mike, I would just let him know that those of us who love you, Mike, and if you hear this, Mike, those of us who love you, it is not contingent on what you still continue to do as a boxer. Is what you've done, and then what you continue to do as a man, and show people that you can bounce back. That's why we love you. So I just don't want to see him get hurt. I don't think Jake can hurt him.
I don't
but I also don't want to see Mike's name mired in some bullshit fracas at the end of this internet match, which is highly likely.
I mean, technically celebrity match, but listen, even from you've seen the training stuff, I'm sure you have. 57, I don't care, man. When the guy comes out looking like for real, like Mike does, like this. Again, I don't want to.
Listen, that's not a normal 50. That's not a normal 50-year-old right there. Like I keep telling people, like that is not a normal 50-year-old human being. That guy would destroy 99% of the people walking the face of this earth today, right now. At his age, what he would have done to the world when he was in his 20s was even more so violent. But make no mistake about it. Just because a former athlete can no longer go at that same level that he went, it doesn't mean the rest of you bums have caught up to him. You haven't, because while he may have slipped a little bit, you slipped a lot, or you never were there, so you couldn't slip anyway. So a lot of people gotta figure that part and take that into consideration. It's easy to watch the videos online and think differently, but I'm telling you, this dude is a bad dude, and not someone you want to take lightly. And if Jake Paul takes him lightly at all, he can find himself looking up at the ceiling.
He's crazy if he does, because Mike at 50, almost 60, like you're saying, superhuman shit to me. I'm like, man, I hope at that age I'm still looking halfway decent like that, because Mike is just to
be able to think about your average 60-year-old. Like, go to Walmart and look at your average 60-year-old. And then imagine like Mike Tyson, what Mike's doing. It's honestly, it is amazing. And so from that standpoint, it's intriguing. It is intriguing because you want to see, can the old warrior step in one more time and go and dust off a young lion? But again, I don't think that that's necessary for his legacy at all. Do I think this tarnishes his legacy? No. He is what he is, and while he was at the top of the perch, man, Mike Tyson was he was unbeatable. I mean, he was banging guys, getting them out of there in 90 seconds. So yeah, am I gonna watch it? I'll watch the highlights. I'm not putting any money down on this thing. I don't trust that whole internet shit. But I'll watch the highlights.
That's fair enough. A good friend of mine is hosting a party. That's the only reason I'm not physically paying for it.
There you go. Yeah, one of my friends hosts a party. I might slide through. But I'm not putting any chips down on my own. No, like
I know that's right. All right, so last feature I got for today, because I always do this every week. I call it Knockout of the Week, Coach. Another one brought to you by the streets, and probably a video you may have seen already, but just something I'm going to bring up here because it's crazy. When I saw this, and it's truly, to me, the epitome of the F around and find out scenario. So.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. Look, man, and this kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier about it being assault. Now, based off this guy's language, his body language, and everything, he's walking towards him. If my man in the hat would have hit him earlier, he would have totally been justified in doing so. He totally would have been justified. But
and my man was trying to walk away the whole time.
Yeah,
trying to walk away.
There's only one aggressor in this situation, right? And so when you look at that, you think, wow. Now, some people say, well, look, he had to wait until he swung on him before he did something. No, that's not true at all. When was the danger imminent? Prior to the punch or during the punch? It was definitely prior to the punch. So he could have hit him earlier, but he didn't. But I'm glad when he slipped the punch, he lit him up. He punched him once, did the damage to him, and then showed a lot of restraint. He didn't have to follow up. The guy's no longer a threat, and he just walked away. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't go in and go kick them and hit them when they're down. Message received. That guy's not getting up and making a miraculous comeback from that knockout. Look at him. He's starfished. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. So that fight's over.
Yeah.
So it's a great punch. I love it. I like it when people get the ass whipping they deserve.
Yeah.
I like it when people pay you pay the asshole tax. You're gonna act like that, there's a tax coming, and you just got taxed.
F around and find out, because clearly this guy's moving away. He's like, problems. He's moving back. You know, they're out at a boardwalk somewhere near a beach or whatever, and this dude, for whatever reason, just won't get out of his face. So I'm like, listen, what did you expect? And to your point about before, the assault battery, that's clearly the assault. I'm like, I'm not waiting to get hit. I'm gonna hit this dude, right?
So from a legal standpoint, at least here in Nevada and most states, this would be assault and battery, or assault and attempted battery. Right, an attempted battery. The punch that he made was the attempt to batter him. He never landed, but that's okay. You can still get charged with trying to hit someone and missing them. That's why they call it attempted. Now, if he had a weapon in his hand and tried to hit him, it would be attempted aggravated battery, because the aggravation is now it's up a notch because it's a weapon in his hand. If I'm walking towards you with a stick in my hand, threatening you, that's aggravated assault.
Right.
Okay, because I'm making the assault, but I have a weapon. So look, again, there's a lot of people that need to understand what their local laws are, but the overall message here, guys, it is never okay to walk towards somebody doing that kind of stuff. You're going to elicit a response of violence if you conduct yourself like that. So here's my thing. If you're one of these guys that gets drunk and goes to a game or a bar somewhere and fights, and you're doing it all the time, get your life together.
Now get your shit together. Because
it's going to end up poorly for you. Or you're either going to have legal problems, or you're going to have other kinds of problems that you don't want. Stop drinking, get your life together, grow the hell up, and stop at your age, not your shoe size.
That's very aptly put. Yeah, so let the people know like how to find you out there at Las Vegas Combat Academy if they're ever in Vegas or train.
For sure, man. I appreciate it. You can hit us up on all of our social media, all the Instagram and TikTok, and we're on YouTube as well at Las Vegas Combat Academy. Right, Las Vegas Combat Academy. Check us out. We also have an online academy. Just go to our website, LasVegasCombatAcademy.com. You can join and watch online. It's only $8 a month. There's lessons there, but more importantly, hit us up, follow us up on social media. You'll see some really cool videos of us doing self-defense and MMA stuff. Oh, shout out, I got 2 of my fighters fighting on November 22nd. We're fighting here in town at the Red Rock Hotel and Casino here in town. 2 of my fighters, pro fighters, and then on December 20th, one of my other fighters is making his pro debut. All of those guys, all my fighters have all won AMI titles, and a few of them have won in different weight classes as well, more than 2 weight divisions. So we're very happy with what's going on with our fight team, and our guys will be getting it on in November, December.
Oh, that's what's up. All right, but we'll definitely be checking for your guys, and thanks again for doing this for me, Coach. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Next time I'm in Vegas, for sure, I'm looking you up, bro. Next time I'm in Vegas, I haven't been out there in a couple years, but yeah, I'm definitely
come through, man. We're here. Just hit me up.
My guy. All right. Appreciate you, Coach.
Alrighty, guys. Drop your thoughts. Follow me on all my socials. Plus, check the Patreon since we're building that up with more content weekly. You guys want to get in there because I've got exclusive content that I don't have on the channel, and we'll keep building that up as well. Consider being a member. It does really help me grow the channel and do things behind the scenes for it. It gives me the resources to create even more videos and content that you guys tell me that you really want to see. Thanks again to my special guest, Coach Donovan Britt. Check him out, like he said, at the Las Vegas Combat Academy. If you're ever in Vegas, I recommend you go see the guy. He's amazing. And guys, if you missed last week's episode, it's going to be rolling around over here. You can check that and more videos that I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy. So guys, stay safe. See you all next time, and of course, keep punching. Now go check out UFC 308.
Look at this one. Look at that one. Look at this one. Look at that one. Look, are you kidding me? If you had one of these in your house, you could look like a millionaire, like the King of England, like the King of France or something.